Redditors. What's the one old people thing your parents do which drives you crazy? I can never reach my mother on her cell phone because she turns it off when she's at home, which means she usually forgets to turn it on when she goes out. It won't even go to voicemail, just customer is not available automated message. Sometimes she turns it on to make a call, then she turns it off after she hangs up because she isn't expecting anyone else to call. It'll be an emergency and I can't get in touch with her because she's not home. When I finally reach her, she says, "Oh, my phone was off because I wasn't expecting a call." Well, I wasn't expecting to get in a car accident either, but I did. She thinks she gets charged money if she has her phone on, and she's terrified of the battery dying. If I visit her house and use her charger because my phone is at 5%, she will tell me she needs it back because she's dropped down to 70% battery. My dad doesn't even have a phone, but he messages me from his iPad and communicates only in emojis. My dad doesn't even have a phone, but he messages me from his iPad and communicates only in emojis. Amazing. My father-in-law is rapidly gaining the retells the same stories tray. If he gets interrupted for some reason, something comes up, or someone interjects, because everyone has already heard this story a bunch, he quietly waits, as long as it takes, for silence to fall on the group, and pick up the story exactly where he left off. Old men do not forget their stories. They just forget who they have told them to. Texting with urgency for everything. Dad, are you home? Can we talk? Me, no, at work. Is everything okay? Dad, YouTube search alien steals plasma from the sun. Me, no one died or anything. Dad, not yet. Whenever I call my mother, she answers with "What's wrong?" Why is that her first thought every time? My parents have this rule they made up specifically for me whenever I visit them. I can't use any apps on my phone when I'm in their house because my parents think my apps will infect their Wi-Fi with a virus. This came to be when I visited them 2 years ago for Thanksgiving, and my dad had malware and a lot of viruses on his desktop in his study. I was in the living room browsing Reddit on my phone at the time, and my parents blamed me for their computer problems. I've told them so many times that me using my phone isn't going to mess up their computer or Wi-Fi, but they don't seem to comprehend this. I have a teenage brother still living with my parents, and they got rid of his box because for the same reason. They think all video game systems are virus boxes. They always act all superior whenever they see a box commercial on TV. They think they are smarter than everyone who buys one because they are aware of the scam Microsoft is trying to pull, so the company can profit from giving people viruses on their Wi-Fi. I give up trying to explain. It's like talking to a brick wall, except a brick wall would shut up and not interrupt me when I explain something. Smug idiots are the worst. Okay, great. Just send me the address. Remember Highway 19. Go about 3, maybe 9 miles down it, past two churches on your left, and turn right. Okay, but I have an iPhone. I just need the address. After you pass that auto parts store Mr. Thompson used to own, you remember, from that old Chinese restaurant that closed. Fork right about 9. 63,452 miles past it. Seriously, just send me the address. Then you'll meet an old blind man with 11 fingers named Ebenezer who will take you to the river, swim upstream for 30 minutes, then turn sound and swim downstream for 15. For God's sake, woman, give me the address, not your crazy nonsense directions. I'm fine with directions instead of an address. But all of my parents' directions are based off of bars that closed 30 years ago. Oh, I love this. I'm taking my parents somewhere. I'm the driver. Mom. Okay, now you must turn left next to guitar shop. Me. There is no guitar shop in this part of town. Mom. Well, it was, but then they changed it to a gas station, I think. Me. And when did this happen? Mom. Oh, about 20 years ago. I wasn't even born 20 years ago, woman. My dad still uses caps lock to write any email/Facebook post he makes. I tried teaching my dad about the shift key, and he said, "Peep it. I'm an old man. They'll understand." Ah, yes, the old man excuse. Got my grandmother a simple cell phone, so I could call and check in on her. She would garden for hours on end and never hear the house phone, so I would always worry she fell or something. Phone was turned off every time I called for months because she wasn't using it. Another one that just cracks me up, but doesn't fully apply to Op's question. In the evenings she would turn on her music channel on the TV. It was a station playing mainly Sinatra. Took me a solid month to teach her the buttons to use to get the TV on under the correct channel. A year goes by of this music playing every evening when I visited. I hadn't been by in the evening for a while, and when I next visited I noticed it wasn't playing and asked her why. She said, "It just sounds different lately." I was a little confused, so I go to the TV and tune into the channel. The cable company had moved channel numbers around and had switched to Sinatra to a heavy metal station. Imagining my grandma listening to heavy metal waiting for Sinatra to come on gets me every time. RIP. This is adorable. My mom signs her text messages mom nearly every time. 15 messages. 15 moms. My dad is trying to say love dad, so he just signs off texts with LD. Makes me laugh every time. Edit. I think of LD meaning learning disability, not little dick. I'm going to keep thinking that mostly because I'm talking about my father here. But thanks for everything, internet. Complain to me that their computer is running slow every time I come over, only to find out my dad had 16 instances of Internet Explorer open. Each with their own menagerie of toolbars and search helpers. But, free lobster dinner. I almost had an aneurysm looking at that. Arranged to meet me for lunch or dinner, and show up 30 to 45 minutes early. I haven't even left my house yet, and I get a text saying, "Booth on the right." Then I arrive, on time or a couple minutes early, and the waiter thinks I'm the late one wasting his time. My father-in-law does this and it's infuriating. "Hey, I'm outside while you're an hour early, and I'm balls deep in your daughter. Go away." You know, in every thread asking for people to rant about today's generations, one of the top 5 posts are that younger people always show up late. I'd like to imagine that at some point, maybe a few decades ago, everyone showed up right on time. Mispronounces just makes up a new word, like electronicals. Lol all the damn time. Mom translations. Nano Brednan bread. Kalisha Kalisi. McInsert food in a thing ordered at McDonald's. McFree. Make hotcakes. Etc. Edit. Autocorrect. Oops. I'm fine with that last abbreviation though. If you said it was a McNapkin, I'd immediately know what it is and where you got it. Assuming because I opened Google Chrome that I somehow broke their computer and that it hasn't been the same since. You open Google Chrome? Technology doesn't work. It must be my children's fault. Fun story. 4 months after I went off to college, my mom found porn on the family computer. I got blamed for it. Despite the fact that I hadn't been home in 4 months and I'd had my own computer for years that I bought, built, and upgraded myself. So yeah, that's how I found out what kind of porn my dad likes to watch. Yuck. Can you all turn the TV down? What? The TV? Turn it down. Can't hear you. Let me turn the TV down. My mom turns the TV on. Turns it up so she can hear it in the kitchen. Then she starts cooking. So she turns it up even louder. Then she turns on the stove top exhaust, which is actually a super awesome industrial grade blower. It's peeping loud. So up goes the TV again. She finishes cooking. I walk in to visit. Food Network and HGTV are at concert level tinnitus levels for no apparent reason. In Japan they make speakers just for this particular problem. This might be of use to you. They won't go to the doctor when they're sick anymore because they don't want to hear bad news. No dad. Drinking apple juice is not going to stop your gallbladder exploding. The realization that you're responsible for looking after them now hits you right in the mortality. Just go talk to the manager. They will hire you on the spot. It doesn't matter how much I explain to them that it isn't the 70s/80s anymore. They still think that just walling in will get you a job on the spot. I know it doesn't work because I tried it about 10 times. My dad tried telling me the same when I was looking for summer jobs. When I was your age, I just walked to the nearest construction site and asked to talk with the boss. Yeah, try doing that today and you'll be met with fences, electric locked doors, and if you somehow manage to get in, you'll have security escorting you out before you even get to ask anybody about anything. Luckily I have a good, steady job now and don't have to hear that anymore. My mom sounds like a walking commercial sometimes. She will refer to things by the product name exclusively. We have a special dog brush designed to get our dog's undercoat. Instead of just calling it a brush, she calls it a Furminator and tells me to Furminate the dog. She will also list off all the same Speep the Soxy Clean Her stain fighting technology that they do in the commercials. I want this woman to drop cable so she never sees a peeping commercial again. If I owned a device called the Furminator, you best believe that everything in the house is getting furminated. I also read the Furminator by name. This brush is far more advanced than other pet brushes. It removes dead hair like magic. Other brushes don't stack up. You can buy them at most pet stores, but I suggest Amazon. The never-ending conversation. My parents like to play trivia with a group of people their age. I join them when I'm in town. It's fun. When the game is over, everyone is getting ready to leave and I'm like, cool, we are going home now. Instead they spend 20 minutes chatting in the parking lot by their cars. Every time there's a natural break in the conversation, and it feels like it's about to end, some other topic arises, and it keeps going. It feels like it's going to be a quick 2-minute chat at first, but it never is. My 29 years old husband does this. Every family gathering I stand there with my coat and bag for ages, while the conversation keeps going with well we are just heading out inserted at semi-regular intervals. It takes me about 30 seconds to leave once I've decided it's time to go. Can confirm. 35-year male here and this makes my wife want to strangle me. On a few occasions she has driven separately, just to avoid what she calls a vortex. She holds her smartphone in one hand arm's length away from her face, slides her glasses down her nose with her other hand, and then taps the touch screen with only one finger on that hand. My dad still does this on a real keyboard. I don't blame him. Blue collar jobs all his life. Why would he need to know how to type pre-computers? But trying to help him with the computer is torture. Here, just let me. No, don't do it for me. Just tell me what to do. Okay. Type what you're looking for into the search bar. Takes 10 minutes to type 1917 Ford convertible repair one letter at a time. Quickly scrolls up and down without reading links. Yup, there's nothing.